Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. This is Dark Times Gamer, and today we're just going to be doing some very basic work, some extra details on the high bay, this ring yard here, and some other things before we move on to our next major build, which will be the Mega Bays and the Star Factory. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So just gonna rapid fire get this out here. So right on the edge of the road. Alright, so we're going to start with road expansion. So I'm just going to grab up the road, the entire thing. I'm just going to stack it twice, both ways. And then stack it twice that way. And then that is going to get us this little bit longer road. And my computer's kind of glitching. When you have big world edits like this, that'll happen. And block palette for today is just the exact same. So yeah, it's pretty much all there is to say. So the first thing we're going to work on here is the connection between the road and the ring yard, because you'll notice there's a massive area here of grass, but how are you going to get things from the ring yard to here? Well, you can't just go around, not until the Gigabay is made, right? So, before the Gigabay, you had to do it like this. So there's a little, I guess, little area where you could turn in. But for that, just go to the far left block. So this is the first block we ever placed in this world. 3 andesite, and then 4 diagonal. 2 diagonal, 2 diagonal, 2 diagonal, 2 diagonal. Like that. It should get something that looks like so. And then, basically, so you figure this is kind of the main roadway where these ships are going to come out of. So very important that you build it the same way you build this road. A 4 block lane, and then block of quartz. 4 block lane of andesite, and then quartz. 4 block lane, and then quartz. And then a 4 block lane. And then just a end block there, and then you're just going to repeat the same pattern we did earlier, which is 3, 1, 1, 1, and then 2 until you meet the road, like so. So it should look something like this. So this is how, I guess, the prototypes will sort of turn onto the road once they're prepared for transport. So this is where it gets a little interesting. So we're going to go 4 blocks down, and then begin turning the same way that we did for the other one. And we're just going to keep going until this connects up to the road, like so. And it looks a little weird, so I'm just going to tweak it a little bit. Go ahead and, just going to, yeah. Just some little road details that don't really matter as much. You don't have to put this if you don't want to. And, oh, I'll need some grass. Actually, I don't need it, because that would just be the same. Alright, and then this, so these 2 lanes turn that way. There's just going to be a straight thing that goes like that. Feeds into these lanes. And then I'm just going to put these last 5 blocks as that. And it's just going to go like so. Sort of curve out into there, like so. So you can see there's 2 little lanes of the road there. Oh, which I know what I did wrong now. Yeah. Okay, I'll do that. There you go, now it looks a little bit better. There we go. Now I got that road detail complete. Alright, and then we're just going to do the same exact thing on the next side. Oop, and I forgot to put that there. That should make it look better. Alright, and then you're just going to fill in the gaps with andesite. Alright, I got that. Now I'm going to complete this gap here. Alright, now we got that. So you can see we've got in this whole little area where you turn onto there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do some more road detailing, because obviously if you're just on this lane here on the road, like a casual driver, you're not going to be turning onto there. So what you're going to do is just simply have a little, oop, didn't do that right. You're going to have just a little line that makes it so that you move there into that lane for a short period, and then go back out once this little thing is done. Which I'll put it here. Doesn't quite really matter where you put it. Why was I on that side of the road? I'm not British. Alright, right here. This side of the road. Yeah. And then you go onto that lane. Yeah. Alright, so now that you have that little thing complete, now you're done with the road detailing. And then just put the andesite. But yeah, the main purpose for this is just so that things can turn onto the ring yard. And I feel like the ring yard probably is a little bit more like this andesite. But I used the polished black stone because it looks a lot more like fresh pavement. Whilst Highway 4 is, well, a lot more rough than the ring yard is. Like, I can even see it. The cameras, it looks kind of rough. But yeah, we got that complete, which that's just the little area where they turn and that kind of thing. So if something's leaving the ring yard, just turn over there. Next thing I'm going to add is these little details right here. So just go ahead and every other block place andesite. And then in between those, place andesite walls. And then put these little guys in front. Like so. That is andesite walls. So these are, I'm not sure quite what they're called, but they just go up, block something there. And then the next thing we're going to construct is the little area right here. The little gate manager, I guess. It's right here. So this is going to be real rough. I didn't actually give myself any notes on this. So yeah, I'm going to need this block though. Alright, so you're going to start with just the frame. So go on this little corner block right here. Go out 3 that way, 3 this way. And then you're going to go out, no, it's 4 this way. And then just make that little square like that. Don't fill it in, just the outline. Then go 3 up on all sides. And then on top, put polished blackstone. And then you actually do want to fill this one in because this is the roof. And then on the front, just bring it out like so. It's like a little overhang. Don't do it on this because that's the road. and then there's no clearance for gigantic rocket pieces to roll out into there. Alright, so we got that now. Now go here and put stone. And then, I mean, generally just put this whole area over here as stone. And not really a end to it, just put it as stone, this general area, except for right here, this is still grass. Alright. So now we have this little thing complete. So now we want to grab up some glass. Instead of glass, or grass, you want glass. Alright, and then right here, put the glass, and then a block of quartz, and another block of quartz. There's a door there, and then glass as well. And then back here is just light gray concrete. And then over here, you want just 2 layers of glass. And then a block of quartz on the top. It should look something like this. So that's the little gate right there. And speaking of gates, Stargate, the building goes here. And then there's a little parking lot there. But it's all gone now. Woo! Good thing the Gigabay is coming. Then all this will get destroyed and replaced. So yeah, now we have the little gate complete. And now we can move on to the next big detail, which is going to be just a little ship part. So you may know from my previous videos that, and I'll just do a single ring section here, that this is booster, my old booster ring section. Would look something like this. And then my old ship ring section would look like this. So yeah, I mean, it blends in more with the ring yard, and a lot of things are this same color, which I didn't really like, and also this isn't really an accurate color. So the new design uses, instead of those polished black stone, we just use black concrete, which I'll just place my glass. We don't need that right now. Which looks like this. So make sure to keep this in your head when we start designing these things next episode. Oop, do that. And yeah. And then, in case you're wondering, because it's definitely very not obvious, this is what the boostering section looks like. So yeah, it's a lot more accurate. I do think I like the texture on this one more. And this one is it's just very plain. And another thing I do is I do that whole trick with the maps and item frames where you just make the design. But I tried it and it didn't really work out that well. But yeah, just keep these, I guess, little color palettes in mind for the next episode. So, a lot smaller of a video today, I know. I think that's probably it. Not really much, if I'm going to be honest. But definitely a good stepping stone towards the next episode, which is going to be real long, I'm going to guess. Because we're going to design 3 whole prototypes in here. 2 ships, and then 1 that is not, I guess. It's just going to be a little test tank. But I'll show you how I do my internals and everything if you want to have it full interior for them. So, yeah, that's that's that. Hope you guys have a good day. This is Stark Times Gamer, signing off. Goodbye.